Todd Staples is our guest. Commissioner?
Great to be on your show. Been excited to talk about the issues facing our great state. And if I had the following that you had, just in Orange County alone, this race would be over with already. If I had half that.
There's not many folk there. That's the problem. Let's talk about Todd Staples. I know the least about you, and I don't know about our listeners, but maybe they know the least about you. You are a candidate for lieutenant governor. Take exactly 1 minute, and I'll cut you off, and tell us who you are.
Well, I have a record of results, not just talking about problems, but actually rolling up my sleeves and fixing them. I was born and raised in East Texas, went to school at Texas A&M, went back home, got involved in my community, got involved in my church, and started giving back. Actually served on my local city council for one term because we had a mess. We had 3 city managers in 2 years, and we needed leaders to step forward who were conservative and that would exercise a little common sense when it comes to solving problems. I served one term. We got things turned around. I went back to work. I'm a real estate appraiser, real estate broker. Love working with the land and people who buy and sell property. My neighbors and fellow conservatives wanted me to serve in the House. I served there for 6 years. We needed a new state senator in East Texas. I ran in a very competitive 3-way race, won with over 70% of the vote in the primary, served in the House and the Senate for 6 years. While I was in the House and Senate, I was a top-ranked conservative, top-rated by pro-life groups, A-rated by the NRA, carried the constitutional amendment defining marriages between one man and one woman. Served now as Commissioner of Agriculture, where I have fought to return the tax dollars to the taxpayer. We have worked with the legislature to abolish agencies. I delivered those services at lower cost and with fewer number of employees. I stood up for landowner rights. I stood up for water rights. And I have done it in a way that just didn't grow government because Texas was growing, but tried to find efficient ways to do the things that Texas taxpayers expect government to do. Actually was reached out to by landowners who were being chased off their property by drug cartels and wanted help finding a way to prevent that. And I sued the Obama administration over job-killing EPA mandates because I want to fight for Texas. Michael, I've been a fighter every single level. I've been accountable to the taxpayers. I've stood my ground.
Have you ever been in a fist fight?
In school, I have. I have not as an adult. Came close several times.
Have you had a good shiner?
I have. I've given and I've taken in fights. Certainly
Commissioner Todd Staples is a candidate for lieutenant governor. Give me 1 minute to tell us what makes you special. Why should you be the one of the 4 to replace David Dewhurst?
I know that voters have a very serious choice when it comes to picking their next lieutenant governor. And I know everyone's an elected official. They've got things that they can brag or talk about. I think I am the candidate to move us forward because each and every position, voters have been able to see who I am, what I stand for. And when people know me, Michael, they know I tell the truth. They know I will do the right thing. I'll stand for what's right, and I'll fight against what's wrong. And I have that clean, clear record of doing that. If it's a tough challenge, I don't shy away from it. And I don't do this, Michael. I don't just jump on an issue because it might be popular for the day. I try to fight for what's good for Texas. I know during this campaign an issue came up about repealing the 17th Amendment. And Patrick and Dewhurst both said they were for it before they were against it. And, I said, look, let's have a debate about it, but we're talking about our United States Constitution. If we want to fundamentally change Washington, let's have a balanced budget amendment. And that's why I'm running for lieutenant governor, so that states can be the leader that our founding fathers expected us to be. And when people know me, they fight for me and they work for me, and I'm hoping that people will give me a really good look. I've developed a contract with Texans that's on my website that outlines 10 steps to a strong state. And I put specifics in there because I believe in accountability, and I want people to be able to hold me accountable where I actually did what I said I would do.
All right, Commissioner, I'm gonna fire at you fast. We're talking to Todd Staples, and after that we'll talk to Jerry Patterson. We just finished with Dan Patrick. We've offered David Dewhurst a spot. He has not responded yet, and we will put these up on the web. Commissioner, I'm going to ask you to be quick on this one. I want to go through each candidate.
Can I get David's time, Michael? Is that okay?
No, you take too long to get to it. You sound like you're from Orange. You're slow as I am. I'm going to ask you, you can talk about personal or professional. I will leave that to you. But to start with, why is David Dewhurst not the man to be our next lieutenant governor? He has been for a number of years. Quickly.
David's a big spender. David's current campaign manager won in the race, and when David lost to Ted Cruz, called David Dewhurst a Charlie Crist, big spending Republican, and that's who he is. David pushed for more state spending. He has called a $6 billion increase modest. David Dewhurst thanked the Obama administration for stimulus dollars. David owes over $1 million to staff and vendors in his loss to Ted Cruz, and it refuses to pay his bill. David Dewhurst made a national celebrity out of Wendy Davis, which was avoidable and did not need to happen. All conservatives are suffering because of that failed leadership. David's lost his ability to connect with Texas taxpayers, and politicians are a lot like socks. They need to be changed on a regular basis. We need to have some new blood, new energy. David's not the person to lead us forward, and I believe that I am.
I prefer to use diapers instead of socks because diapers are full of something, but we will get to that. All right, Todd Staples coming up. Here are the questions I will ask. I will ask him about the other candidates in the race, and then we will ask about some of the things that Dan Patrick said about him, and we'll ask him to wrap up with a real quick why you should vote for him. Dan Patrick was first. That interview will be on the web. Todd Staples now, then Jerry Patterson, and then David Dewhurst if he comes on. Our candidates for lieutenant governor in Texas coming up.
The Michael Berry Show continues.